This Kia Sorento 2024 has to be the best dad car ever. Yep, it's got all the tech inside, it's got loads of space in it, it's very practical, it's got range, and even if you went for the diesel version, you'd be able to tow your caravan with this thing. Let's talk about it. Okay, let's start with the design, and first, right off the bat, let's just say this is a lovely car. I have to say, I like the look of this. It looks very sharp, it looks sporty, it looks very bold and modern and stylish all over the car in terms of the outside and the inside as well. But let's start with the outside of the car. So the front of the car looks very bold and it has a really nice stance to it as well. We're talking about the bold, refreshed grills, the front grille rather than grills. The front grille has got that nice glossy black finishing on it. We look at the day running lights and LED lights on the vertical lights that look really cool as well and modern. It takes some design cues from the Kia EV9, which is Kia's flagship car right now, which is pure electric. And this car comes in different powertrain levels as well, with different trim options as well. So they kept the trim levels nice and simple to understand this time. So you have 2, 3, and 4. 4 giving you the maximum of everything that you can get in the car, like head-up display, ventilated seats, for example. And you also have different powertrains. So you have 2 electrified versions. So you have hybrid and plug-in hybrid. This is the plug-in hybrid version, both 1.6 litres. And then you have your 2-litre diesel version as well, which is pretty neat. So the diesel version is the one that you'd go for if you're looking to tow your caravan, because that's got a bit more power to it. And also, that will give you the option for the 20-inch alloys as well. Talking about alloys, let's talk about the side of the car. Actually, before I go there, I also like the front in terms of what they've done with the Kia logo on the bonnet. And the bonnet is slightly redesigned as well to give you that, to add to that bold look of what the Sorento is all about. So moving on to the side of the car, the creases on there are quite subtle, it's not too drastic, and I like what they've done there. It looks really cool. And you look at the alloys as well, it's got 19-inch alloys on here with a nice finishing to it. It looks pretty cool what they've done with the design. I love the finishing on it as well. And like I said, if you went for the diesel version, then you have the option to get a 20-inch alloy, set of 20-inch alloys on your car if you prefer to do so. On the right side is where you find the charging ports. So if you want to charge your car, you charge it via that side. It's not CCS, so it's not going to give you fast charge, for example, but it's enough to give you 34 miles of pure driving range. So you'd be able to drive around, urban driving or whatever it is. 34 miles is more than enough. If you get that accurately, that's a totally different story. You might be able to get 28, 25 miles when all is said and done, but it's still giving you a really good prospect in terms of what you actually get. If you go for the Sorento 4, that will give you extras. So that gives you the top of the range stuff. So head-up display, ventilated seats, and I think you get this panoramic sunroof with that option as well. And if you went for the 2, which is the base one, you get lesser options inside of the car, but you still get loads of stuff just as standard. You get a lot of stuff in there for your money, which I think is kind of impressive what Kia's done over there. And then we go to the back of the car. We have a nice design on the back as well. We've got this smiley hidden, intelligently hidden wiper, so you don't see it unless it's deployed, for example, which is cool. And the LED lights on the back looks absolutely fantastic as well. I love what they've done there. Again, very, very Kia. You got the FEV logo, hybrid logo on the back, and Sorento, so you know what it is. And then you open the boot, and the boot is electronically controlled. And once you open the boot, you have plenty of space in there to basically store anything that you want to store in the boot. And then what you can do, because this is a 7-seater, you can drop the seat as well on the back very easily to be able to have that full space on the back, more than 800 litres of boot space. All the accurate number will be on the screen. And then you can drop that seat on the back, the 2 seats on the back, to have plenty more space to store stuff if you wish to do so. And this is a 3-row seater, so it's 7-seater by standard. There's not many of these cars on the market right now, so it's actually quite good that we can get the option to have a 7-seater car that's impressive like this one. So the middle row can also be adjusted as well, so you can move it forwards and backwards. You can lean it forward or lean it all the way back if you wish to do so. You've got USB-C ports all over the car. So the back row, so the 2 seats at the back, they've got USB-C ports on either side. The middle row have USB-Cs as well. And on the front, we have USB-Cs as well for the driver and the front passenger. The headroom and the leg room and stuff like that on the back is pretty good, but because it's slightly slanted on the side, you notice that you get a bit of a lesser headroom when you move towards the window. But if you sit kind of center, headroom is more than enough. Plenty of space for your feet as well. and you got your armrest, and also the middle seat is usable. So if you want to seat someone there comfortably, there's no issues there at all. So that's loads of bonus that's available in this car that makes it very practical, very usable, something that this is the ultimate dad car, ultimate family car. I keep saying dad, but it might not be for a dad, but ultimate family car, because it's got all the space, it's got all the gadgets and stuff like that you can do, you can use inside of this car. And it's got the looks as well, which I really love, because if you're going to be buying a car like this, you want something that's got the looks as well. I even love the back, the way that it slopes ever so slightly at the back, but they've designed it in a way that makes it looks even more sloped, the way they've designed the window on the back, on the outside, which is pretty cool. Like I said already, you get panoramic sunroof in here as well, which gives you extra bit of sense of space in the car. So that's a bonus there. Going on to the front of the car, we have a Bose sound system. I think it's 12 speakers or something like that, and it sounds absolutely fantastic. You can adjust all the equalizer settings on the display on the front if you wish to do so. And then the seats are just nice and plush. It's nice material. It's very comfortable to sit in, both at the back and the front. And out here in the front, we have loads of space as well. Cubby holes to store your bottles and cups and whatnot. It's all there. You got wireless charging here. You got 2 USB-C ports on the front as well. In this, you have ventilated seats and heated seat, and also big displays in front of you to control things to infotainment and instrument cluster. We got the rotary dial here, which you've seen before with most of Kia cars as well, or the part of the group, the family. You've seen that before. We've also got a fingerprint reader on here, which comes with the level 4. So if you pick the Sorento 4, this is what you get with that as well. Fingerprint reader to log in, which will store information like your seat positioning, your driver profile, all that kind of stuff. And then you got loads of buttons to the right of that, so below the rotary dial. So we have your drive, selector, so you got eco, sport, and smart. And then you then press that to get your terrain. So you have snow, mud, and sand as well. And then you got your EV plug-in hybrid mode. So you can select that to select auto, hybrid, pure electric mode. Select that to do with whatever you want it to do. And then you got your heated steering selection there. And just plenty of space again to store things, which is absolutely fantastic. One of the things I love about here though is the seats. The passenger seat here has a couple of buttons, 3 buttons there that you can easily use to control that seat, so you don't have to get out of the car. So whether it's you need to move this forward, you need to lean it back, you want to fully recline it, you can do exactly just that without leaving the driver's seat, which I think is absolutely fantastic. Moving on to the bottom of the display, this is dynamic. We've seen this before, so you can switch, push of a button, well, sort of like touchscreen haptic feedback button here. You press it, and that will switch between your climate and also all the other buttons for like home, map, search, and all that kind of stuff. So it dynamically switches, so they don't have too many buttons here. So that's pretty smart what they've done there. And then we have this big display in front of us. The instrument cluster is 12.3 inch, and it's very responsive. It supports Apple CarPlay, Android Auto wirelessly as well, which is fantastic in this 4 version, so level 4 trim level. And then we'll see how fluid it is. Android Auto works really well. The system itself is very simple. It's very easy to find things, whether you're looking for options, settings, whatever. For example, we can look at all our safety options. We have lane departure warning. We have all these safety options as available. We've got everything in here. Talking about safety, this has 7 years warranty or 100,000 miles warranty as well. So that gives you that peace of mind when you're buying this. But back to this infotainment system. There's loads of options on there. Play with it. You can change the sound settings, for example, like equalizer settings and so on. All that's there for you. One thing I really love is on the instrument cluster, you have plenty of options here again, so you can change the middle area to offer different things. But what's cool is when you indicate either side, change to a camera view, so your blind spot, you can actually see what's going on there. We have a head-up display, which is nice and sharp, nice and bright, regardless of the lighting condition. You can always see it clearly and sharp, and you can adjust the heights and all that kind of stuff, and information that you actually see up on that screen, the head-up display as well. But overall, I think they've done really well with the interior in terms of the material that's been used, the way it's been designed. Plenty of space in here. It's nice and comfortable for long journeys. The sitting position on the back is really good as well in terms of not raising your knee to your eye, and it's just really nice in general. I love what they've done there. And some of the tech in that doesn't get old for me is the fact that you can use the key to remotely come in and out of parking spaces. I didn't bother demoing it in this video because I've done it plenty of time. If you watch the Kia EV9 video, you will see me do that in there as well. So you can use it to put it out of parking spaces when you can't get in a tight space. So you can use it for that as well, which is pretty cool. You got parking camera, which is also 3D, so you can look all around the car when you need to do so before you park up, just to assist you to make sure you park correctly and park safely without scratching your car or denting your car or anything like that. But overall, great design. I think it looks very sporty, very sharp, and it's absolutely fantastic. In terms of the powertrain options available, like I said before, you got the plug-in hybrid, which is a 1.6 turbo GDI auto transmission. You have 248 brake horsepower, 367 Newton meters of torque, and it will do 0 to 62 in 8.8 seconds with maximum speed at 113 miles per hour. Okay, let's talk about how it drives. So this is one of the most comfortable cars you'll ever get in for your family, for yourself, when you're driving by yourself. It's very comfortable. The steering is nicely engaging and nicely weighted, so it's not too heavy, it's not too light. It's just well balanced, I think, in my opinion, which I really like. And in terms of power delivery, it's very good as well, even though we have a mixture of electrification and ICE in there. So it works together in tandem to make sure that this just feels very good. So even if you have it in pure electric mode, you feel the power delivery is very good. If you have it in hybrid mode, it's very good as well. So I have no complaints in that area as well. Talking about how comfortable it is, we have multi-link suspension, and then you feel that as you're driving everywhere. It's very forgiving when it comes to the potholes, when it comes to the rough roads and all that kind of stuff. And cornering as well is very good. There's no issues at all. You get a tiny bit of body roll, which is understandable in such a heavy car. You will feel some body roll in there, but you get nice seats here that's got the side bolsters that still try and keep it in place as well. And when you have a load of passenger in the car as well, or just stuff in the car, you do have at the back, you got the self-leveling dampers, which would automatically just level where it needs to. It does what it needs to do to make sure that the car just still feels nice and safe on the road, nice and comfortable with no issues at all when you're driving. So I think all round conclusion for me is the driving experience is good. It's what we've expected from the previous edition as well. So they haven't taken away from it. If anything, they've just refined it so it feels better on the road. And I really love it. I think they've done a great job here. I guess after all is said and done, there will be a couple of questions that you'd have to ask yourself before you decide to go for something like this. So, for example, you'd have to decide which trim level you go for, which suits your needs. And then you have to also think about which powertrain to go for, because if you want to tow your caravan, you'd have to go for the diesel version, which can tow up to 2.5 tons, for example. So that's obviously the one that you'd go for, right? And then if you're a business owner and you need something that's going to save you money in terms of tax, then you think, okay, well, I have to go for the plug-in hybrid version, maybe. So there's a lot of questions you need to ask and see which answer you give to those questions, and then decide which one you go for. And I think the other side of the coin is also whether you go for something that's got a Kia badge on it, which I still hear people say, oh, can I, how would you pay that much money for a Kia, but I think you'd have to sit in it and go for a test drive to realize that actually it's worth every penny that this car is priced at. I think it's got loads of premium quality to the car, and the way that it drives and everything, visibility is great. It feels nice to drive. It's very practical, So I think they've done a really good job there. You do have competitors on the market like, Peugeot 5008, for example, and you'd have to also consider that when it comes to picking a car like this one. And you also got a full electric version like the EV9 from Kia. If you want something that's just pure electric, that's still pretty practical. So just have to ask yourself plenty of questions, go for a test drive, see what you think of the car, and then decide whether you want to buy it or not. But if it's my money, if it's down to me and I'm looking for a 7-seater that's cool, got plenty of tech in it, very comfortable to drive, this is definitely one that will be on my list. If it's not in my top 3, it will definitely be one that I'm considering to get if there's anything. If there's anything negative I have to say about the driving experience is when you're driving in electric only mode, or when it's going from electric only mode to when the engine kicks in, you do get this over rev situation where the engine just sounds like you've over revved it too much, and then you start to feel like, oh, I've done the gas too much, I've done way too much here. So that's probably the only thing I'll say that became a little bit annoying sometimes for me, that could be a bit more refined. So, but yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And as always, if you have any questions, drop them there as well, and I do my best to answer those questions for you. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.